Are you guys excited enough to stand up? Can I have a volunteer, please? Come on up. Oh my God, Shane's always the first. I don't understand how this works. Maybe because he knows what's coming. All right, Shane, look at me. Take a deep breath and sleep all the way. That's right, deeper. That's right, deeper, deeper still. And when we're going to stand you up, you can go deeper into trance. That's right. Balancing on your own feet, deeper into trance. As I turn you slowly, just go deeper and deeper. That's deeper and deeper. Feeling great. That's right. You're doing a great job, Jane. A great job. And to thank you for coming out here and being a wonderful demonstration subject. I think your unconscious already knows what's going to happen, don't you? Only this time, that's right. This time we're going to do it in a very interesting way. What I'd like you to notice is how this hand, that's right, let's just start to begin to, there you go, rest there. That's it, just find that hand, finding its own balance point. There you go, that's it, excellent. Now something amazing is going to happen in a moment, Shane. You've come here to become a great street hypnotist, have you not? Mm-hmm. And it takes a, shall we say, an unconscious mind aligned to your purpose to make it easy and fun and exciting. Now I want you to notice that this hand will move towards your chest, but only as quickly as your unconscious mind does that alignment. You will feel it inside as a really powerful, wonderful motion beginning to flush through you. And you will notice, that's right, there goes that hand, all the way over to your chest. So by the time that hand touches your chest, you will have the perfect state, the perfect mindset in order to learn street hypnosis quickly, easily, naturally. That's right, a little bit faster now. There you go. There you go, that's right. All the way. And when that hand touches your chest, you can just simply stick there, locking tight. As you lock those emotions into you, locking that ability into you, locking that mental alignment. You can feel that mental alignment, can you not? Your whole mind just knowing what you want. And as that hand locks in there, that alignment locks inside. Try and move your hand and notice you can't. Try and move it and notice how it's stuck, because inside of you, your unconscious mind is making sure that you really get this. Doesn't that feel great? You can try hard on that. Because the harder you try, there you go, the harder you try and the more you fail, the more inside your alignment just becomes rock solid. Rock solid. And when we count to three, at the count of three, you'll open your eyes and you can look at your hand, but you still can't move it. 1, 2, 3. Look at your hand. Try and move it. Does it normally do that? What's going on? I think I made a mistake. See ya.
So okay, lots of other hypnotists.
Yeah, someone's going to have to undo this at some point.
They'll undo it at some point, I'm sure.
Exactly. So here's what we're going to do. You have a choice. We'll undo one of two things. Either we can undo that alignment you had inside, or we can release the hand and make it back to normal and do all its normal things. Which would you rather have?
Release thing.
You sure about that?
Yeah, that sounds like a good option.
Do you think he's congruent with that? All right, so all you have to do is go ahead and tap that hand. 1, 2, 3. When it's done, like magic. Good job, well done. Give him a round of applause. By the end of today, every single one of you here will be able to do that with pretty much anyone you meet. Who would like to learn how to do that? Right? Now, those of you who've trained with me before, you may have noticed we did things slightly differently to the normal way we teach instant inductions. So bear with me as we go through the same process. I know a lot of you will be familiar with it, but we will change a few things along the way just to set you up specifically for the street. Is that okay with you guys? Those of you who haven't trained with me before, who haven't seen anything like this before, you're in for a wild time. So just enjoy yourself, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to take that whole process and break it down step by step to make it really simple, make it really easy, and make it very natural to you. Is that okay with you guys? So the first thing we want you to do is just find a partner. And actually what you're going to do is you're going to walk around the room and you're going to do this with as many people as possible. With as many people as possible. You go up to them, you look them in the eyes, and you tell them, I am an amazing hypnotist. I really am, really. Yeah? And just look in their eyes and to say with absolute conviction. Can anyone do that? Sure. Can anyone not say that with absolute conviction? No. Well, good. So then you're going to turn around and then the other person's going to do the same to you.
I am an amazing hypnotist.
Wow, really? That's good. All right.
Igor told me.
Exactly. Igor told me so. Can all of you say that congruently and with a real attitude, yes? We're going to test your attitude now, folks. You have 3 minutes to tell everyone in the room just how amazing you are at hypnosis. Off you go. So, was it easy to introduce yourself as a great hypnotist, yes? Everyone enjoying that? Okay, so the next thing you have to do is we're going to start looking for certain things. Right? So I'm going to just introduce myself. Hi, I'm a great hypnotist. Well, whatever, it doesn't really matter. Let's come over here and just experience some hypnosis. All you're looking for is how they're walking over, and you just get their attention. That's it. Is that easy to do? You're asking someone to stand somewhere. Could you stand over here for a second? Now just look at me. Is that difficult to do? So what you're doing here is, we'll just do it very quickly and then we'll elaborate on that as we go along. You're all familiar with the ABS formula, right? Everyone recognize absorption of attention part, right? Okay, just find as many people as possible. Your job is, number one, to move them around somewhere, just check how well they're responding. And number two is to focus their gaze on you, focus their attention. Where their eyes go, their attention goes, more or less. Does that make sense? So you have 2 minutes to do 10 people. Off you go. So, was that easy to do? Yes? So what we do now is, just add a little refinement. Do you notice that how some people, when you ask them to step over here for a moment, would you? They get a little bit hesitant. Have you ever noticed that? Whereas other people, when you say step over here, they get kind of nice and relaxed and it's like, oh, this is easy. Do all of you notice that happening just as you were doing this, yes? Here's what I want you to do. If the person steps over nice and lightly, just come over here, would you? There you go. Then you're in good shape. Well, that's called as compliance. They're following along. Is their mindset in the game or out of the game? What do you reckon? Right? Are they going to be coming along with you? They're doing the stuff we do, or is there some resistance? They're coming along with you, right? If they resist slightly, like, could we step over here a little bit?
What were we doing?
Right? At this point, would you be fair to say we have some resistance going on here, right? Do you want to start your instant induction here? No, because you don't have all their attention, and the critical factor has actually increased rather than decreased. Does that make sense? So we have to put them at their ease. You can do that with language. We're going to do something very interesting in terms of hypnosis. Do you like to relax?
Yeah, of course.
Come over here, I'll show you something how to relax. Right? Now, let's say I still didn't have them completely here. What I want you to do is start playing with their body. Do you see this little rocking motion I have here? Right? You want to test their rocking motion to see how comfortable they're feeling, but you're still talking to them as you're doing this. So really, all we're going to do is a little experiment on how your mind can actually turn to relaxation. Have you had a stressful day ever before, where you felt like, I just want to switch off and just feel good, right? How do you like to learn how to do that instantly, whenever you want? So, do you notice what I'm doing here as I'm talking to him? I'm kind of slowly moving his body around a little bit. This lets me, first of all, gets him in a little bit of a rhythm. It gets a little bit of trance, a little bit relaxing. But it also lets me test to see how well they're responding at this point. You see how that works? If he's rock stiff, rock solid, I may just switch to someone else and work with them first. Otherwise, if I can just talk to them about, comfort, relaxation, or how this is really natural, or if there's any concerns and so on, and all the time I'm rocking, this gives me a feeling, an instant feedback as to how responsive he's becoming. Does that make sense to you guys? So here's what we do now as a result of this. You're going to go around and do exactly the same exercise again. In other words, you're going to introduce yourself to someone. Hi, I'm an amazing hypnotist. You're going to do some hypnosis,
sure.
Right? Now, as they walk across, they'll either be totally compliant, or they'll have a slight hesitation. We don't need to have a great hesitation, just a slight one, right? If you feel a slight hesitation as to move across, come on over here. All right, there's a little bit more than slight, but that's okay, we can live with that. All I want you to do now, if they get a slight hesitation, is turn up your attitude. Smile at them, do that little sort of rocking backwards and forwards, side to side, in kind of random patterns, and then talk to them about, well, there's nothing really to be concerned about here in terms of what we're doing. Well, don't worry, I'm not going to hypnotize you yet. I just want to show you how to relax. Have you ever noticed that when your mind's in the right place, your body just relaxes like that and it feels great? You ever noticed that? How would you like to be able to do that anytime?
Be amazing.
So notice how each time I was talking to him, his body started relaxing more, he's giving me more leeway and setting up the context to do the work. Does that make sense? All right, guys, do 10 people. You have, I'll give you a little longer this time, 3.5 minutes. Off you go.
We're going to take this a little bit further now. One of the kind of mantra of mine when I'm training people is to test your work. Okay, I got into this via very indirect Ericksonian style hypnotherapy, which is good, and it's great language, and there's lots of good technique in there that I love. And I'll use some of that on the street, but most of the time it's much more direct. People often mistake my stuff being completely direct, but it's pretty direct. Many people, when they begin with it, focus on the induction, and we're just building up to an induction. We're dropping you right in the middle of it here. But when I say test your work, often I'm referring to the stuff we're going to do later on today, the phenomena. If you think they're hypnotized, then give them a suggestion. Their hand's stuck, their feet are stuck, that they can't remember something, that they can see something that isn't there. Test your work. The vast majority of hypnotherapists never test their work, would never know if someone was hypnotized because it might all crash and burn around them, okay? So that testing process doesn't just apply to amnesia and hallucinations. Right here, what you're doing already is testing. This isn't just, you know, a sequence of actions you're going to go through like a robot and not think about. Okay, by the time we get to this place you just come over here. Yeah, I'm a hypnotist. Can I show you something interesting?
Sure, cool.
Cool, I'll tell you what, just take a step forward for me and just place your feet together if you would. Right, all of this stuff is, to me, is just like this arm on the shoulder. It's just a verbal equivalent. If I'm trying to feel and sense, is he moving in my direction? Not just from a sense of compliance. I want compliance. I want him to do exactly what I ask him to do, pretty much on the beat that I ask it. Okay, but I want to feel. Again, resistance can make you think they don't want to do it. That's not necessarily the case. It's just misunderstanding. If they think they're being dragged somewhere away from their friends and they're less comfortable about that, then they may give some physical resistance. If you give pretty much any reason at all to stand there, this is a better spot. Stand over here and you can relax. Any reason, even if it's a nonsensical reason, people will just take the step and stand there. Okay? So when we're doing this, I know you're obviously getting to know each other and it's all a bit of a laugh, right? I want you to genuinely try and gauge consistently where they're at, where their attention is at. And Igor will talk about levels of attention later, I'm sure. But at this point, is that pretty much on the beat? When you give a suggestion, when you give an instruction at this point, if you like, rather than a suggestion, are they acting on it perfectly? When you get that hand on their shoulder, this is like a sensitivity drill. So if I say, you can relax, or have you ever had an experience where you just need to relax more, and I don't feel that loosen up at all, then that idea hasn't been taken on board, even though it was delivered as a question. So we're going to drill this in over and over and over again until your ears bleed, right? But the purpose is not just to say these lines without any real engagement. Get their attention, get their eye contact, put your hand on their shoulder, and be as sensitive as you can to what's coming back at you. That's how you're going to get better at it. I can tell you the vast majority of the times, but in a typical street hypnosis situation, by the time I get to the induction, my work is done. I'm absolutely certain that I know the induction will come off. And that's all down to this simple and constant testing. All right, so we're going to add a little piece to it now about getting the eye fixation and the best ways of doing that, and then we'll just practice again.
Okay?
Yeah.
So just remember, folks, that the key here is you're responsible. You're the hypnotist, right? Who is the hypnotist in this room?
I am.
Okay, he's right. He's over there. No, you're the hypnotist, which means the drills we're doing right now, imagine that you're on the street and you're going to have to do something with this. You're going to get someone's hand stuck to the wall, hallucinate something, whatever. Does that make sense? So you need to convince yourself, am I happy to put this person in trance right now? And if there's any doubt in your mind, well, then either call someone over or start playing with it. Like, get a little bit more of this, talk to them a little bit more until you find that kind of natural receptivity thing coming on. So all of you have a sense that some people were really easy to work with, yes?